A little bit cold outside here at Beck's in London, Ohio. Ty Higgins with the Ohio AgNet and Ohio's Country Journal. Jared Chester is the lead for the PFR, Practical Farm Research, here at the London facility for Beck's hybrids. And Jared, I know that it's cold and I know that winter has kind of been hanging on, but you're already having thoughts about corn planting.
That's right. I don't know why, but maybe it's just the change of the year, the new year, and looking forward to things. But yeah, the other morning getting dressed, I was thinking, counting down, we're not too far from sticking some corn in the ground. So I don't know why, it just crossed my mind. But
preparations are underway. I know there's a lot of paperwork to do as you get ready for 2018, and it's kind of quiet here now, but I have to imagine behind the scenes as you get ready for all the plots that you do research-wise, there's a lot going on here.
That's right, Ty. Yeah, right now we're trying to find new products to test, then also talk with customers, talk with farmers in terms of what challenges are they facing, what things do they want to see us test, and then trying to develop those protocols and implement them to a way that makes sense, and also we can actually test something and put some dollars to it. So a lot of preparation this time of year, like any farmer. I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to lay it out, and gathering all the tools that we need to get it done.
Hundreds of tests going on all across Ohio with Beck's. What stands out to you that farmers would probably like to know about as far as some things you tested in 2017 that maybe worked or didn't?
I'd say when we think about corn in 2017, we had a tough spring. A couple things that stand out on the corn side is just how some of this late planted corn or replanted corn really went on to yield well, and what things did we see in the weather and in terms of management that led us to those higher yields than maybe what a lot of guys were thinking when it was May 5th and guys were dreading looking at their corn stands. Then on the soybean side, I think the reoccurring theme that I keep seeing is lower populations in soybeans is maybe the direction we need to head in terms of reducing some costs and also getting those beans out in the ground earlier. It just seems like consistently pays. So how can we figure out how to do that and be successful at it?
I know you and I have read articles over the last couple of days about wheat across the middle part of the country that's going through some winter kill. The crop conditions for the major wheat growing areas of the country are declining at a rapid pace due to cold weather. And you have some wheat out here at Beck's in London. Tell me about some of the studies you're doing there and how the wheat's looking thus far.
So every year we put a few wheat studies out. This year we've got 7 or 8. We range from things of nitrogen rate, nitrogen timing, then also some fungicide and fungicide additive product studies. But one new study that we're pretty interested in this year is actually a planting date study on wheat. So we do a planting date on corn and beans every year at every site, and this year we're implementing that in wheat. So our first planting date was what we consider trying kind of an early planting date, considered what most guys think of, and so this past fall it was September 28th, and then we got the next planting date would have been October 5th, and then a later one of October 18th. So it's going to be interesting, and when we think back of what we saw this fall of dry conditions early, and then turning into a wet, prolonged fall, and then now a really cold winter, how planting date's going to affect our wheat stands this spring, and then ultimately yield.
We talked about the cold temperatures. Thank goodness for this snow.
Yeah, that's right. So when we think about snow and kind of giving us that blanket of insulation on our wheat crop out there in terms of protecting us from some of these really frigid temperatures, kind of a blessing right now.
Winter meetings start up on Monday, January 8th, run through the 16th of January. And Jared, you're going to be a part of some of those meetings. What do they entail and what can farmers take away from them?
So it's a 50-minute presentation that we put together in terms of trying to find things that show promise and show relatively easy ways to implement practices that can help farmers improve their bottom line. Also, I'm really excited because this year was a pretty unique growing season. I mean, we faced a lot of challenges. So here at PFR, we take a ton of pictures. We do a lot of different off the cuff, kind of as the conditions arise, different studies. So we've implemented a lot of those into our presentation that the guys are going to see this in these winter meetings. So it's excited to see the conditions we faced, what we learned from it, and how we can implement those things in the coming years if we see those conditions again.
Those meetings happening all over the Buckeye State. You can find a complete list online now at beckshybrids.com. We'll have one on the website as well at ohioagnet.com. Jared Chester, my guest. He's the PFR lead here at Beck's in London. I'm Ty Higgins on the Ohio AgNet. We'll see you down the road.